Welcome to Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Let's come together as united. Let's stand up and let's speak up for our children, please, by all means. Let's stop all the squabbling and stand united, all right? We greatly appreciate that. Please pray I get through this. I have to tell y'all, I am not a true crime. I am an advocate. I am a survivor, a thriver of heinous abuse. For all you people coming down on me and telling me that I'm not a good news reporter, let me tell you something. I am here to spread the word about these actions, that they should not harm anybody, should not harm a child, from an advocacy, someone who's been there standpoint. So stop coming on my lives, on my YouTubes, sending me messages telling me I'm not a good news reporter. The thing is, I'm getting the word out. I don't profess to be a professional. I don't get paid for this. I get the word out because this happens to many of our children. Hey there, how are you doing, our bucket list? Good to see you. Hello, Chris. Thanks for coming in. Good to see y'all. Y'all know I'll end up getting mad and saying something. But I am tired of people coming down, writing in you're not a very professional. And I'm like, well, I'm not a professional. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall fear one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. In Isaiah, it says, learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take out the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. A lot of y'all that keep bashing us Christians, saying that we just got to get over it, we got to forgive and forget and all this, it says specifically in the Bible to learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take out the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. So if you want to go against God, go ahead. It says that strictly in the Bible. This is a channel for advocacy for abused children and child survivors. You are right. Exactly. Thank you so much, sis. Lots of love to you for stating that. I love you, girl. But trigger warning here. This is not easy of a story to tell. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and read. Abuse affects our lives in so many ways. What do we do when we are too scared to tell? We have trusted someone and they did not help. Sometimes someone asks, what did you do to get punished this way? Abuse is abuse. Abuse is not punishment. Abuse is torture, crippling, and debilitating. What advice would you give others to help them through the horrendous memories? Are you there for the person, or are you part of the knife in your friend or relative's back since you may have turned a blind eye to it? Are you claiming to advocate against abuse but condemn the people who tell and share their stories? Do you want to be a part of the solution or part of the problem? Let's stand united and discuss ways in which we may help others. What ways have helped you in your healing journey? Are you in a constant battle fighting the negative forces within? Stop. Let's encourage one another. Are you an officer in the judicial system not doing your job to help the victim? That means you are not doing your duty. Your duty is to serve and protect. How do we open the public's eyes so they can acknowledge and feel the need to help protect the children and our citizens? The children are our future. You matter. I had written that a while back, and I felt like I need to start reading that at the beginning of each one. If you look at the page here, this is Arnold B. Rivera, 43, from Vandalia, Illinois. He sexually abused and murdered. Now they're saying it's his adoptive sister. I'll explain more in a few minutes in one of the news articles, okay? Without further ado, let me get the first video up and running, okay? It's going to be via TikTok. Okay. All right. Got the audio. Okay. Let me make sure to cut off my microphone here.
On Friday, November 14th at 2 o'clock Indiana time, I received the devastating phone call that you're about to hear.
What do you mean lost it? I just lost it. Don't do nothing stupid. My kids need you, BJ. They ain't gonna have me in prison, so don't. They're better off collecting my Social Security. And you just please trust him that I am totally sorry, and I know they'll never forgive me, and that's all right. But tell them we love them, and for what it's worth. So, did your mom know? She does. So who's at the house right now? I don't mean. Well, I'm gonna tie his way back. He's an hour and 40 minutes from Vandalia. Alright. Please tell my kids I'm fucking sorry. I will. You mean you tell my brother is Isaac out of something? Yeah, he's been trying to call me. Alright, send me his number real quick, because I can't find him, but call him real quick. Alright.
After I received that call, I called Vandalia Police Department and told them what he has told me and to look for him. Because at that time, I felt like he was going to kill himself because of what he's done. And at that time, I'm thinking about my 4 children. When I called Donna, the first thing she said when she answered the phone was, "How do you know?" To me, I felt like she was never going to tell me. I instantly left work and drove down to Vandalia, Illinois, which is a 3-hour drive for me. When I got there, I was told that KYLIE went missing Thursday night. The last anybody seen of her was around 9 o'clock. The next day, Friday, at 6:30 in the morning, BJ reported her missing. At 5 o'clock that morning, he called his mom and said KYLIE didn't come home last night. Donna said her phone was off the night before, that she turned on her phone at 5 o'clock Friday morning, and she got a text from BJ saying that she needed to call. When she called, he had told her KYLIE did not come home the night before, so she told him to report her missing. When he reported her missing, that's when Donna Cat ended up coming down, and Donna had to report her missing because she's the legal guardian of KYLIE. Donna gets down to Vandalia, reports her missing. BJ and Donna decided to go shopping. They went to Walmart, they ran errands, and so whatever the case may be. Donna said that BJ showed no signs. He was normal. When they went to search the RVs to see if she was in there, it was marked. When they went to call BJ and asked him for the keys, nobody heard from BJ. That's when the detectives opened the door, walked in, and told everybody to get back. I'm assuming that's the time that he knew he was caught and he took off. That's when he decided to call me and tell me what he has done. Let's go back to 11 months ago, back in January. In January, I had living conditions of the house he was in at that time and the concerns I had about KYLIE TOBERMAN. My daughter, Avion, was the biggest advocate for that girl. KYLIE would tell my daughter would tell me, and I would report it to DCFS. DCFS told me there was nothing they can do until KYLIE spoke up. There was comments even made back then that what is it going to take for someone to believe her or us? Either she's going to get pregnant or she's going to end up dead. Now she's dead. The system has failed KYLIE TOBERMAN. The system has failed my kids to protect them. That whole family, Tobermans and Rivera, is monsters. They have sat up there in court right along with BJ and looked me dead in my eye and said lies after lies after lies and stood next to that man for years. KYLIE's story needs to be told. I will not be silenced anymore. My name is Paige.
Wow.
My name is Paige.
Yeah, this is sick and sad. You're right. It is.
Wow.
Gotta take a breath for a minute.
Yeah, this is sick and sad. You're right. It is.
So let's go to the next one.
Take a breath for a minute.
This is not easy. This is Vandalia, Illinois. We give credit where credit is due to the radio. Todd Stapleton. A Vandalia man has made his first appearance in Fayette County Court in a space of 6 total counts, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. 43-year-old Arnold B. Rivera is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Information on the charges states that Rivera is alleged to have strangled the 14-year-old juvenile with jumper cables. Both counts are Class M felonies and carry a sentence of 20 to 60 years in prison. Rivera also faces 2 counts of criminal sexual assault. The count states that Rivera, who was a family member of the 14-year-old juvenile, is alleged to have committed an act of sexual penetration with a juvenile. It also states that Rivera was a caretaker in a position of trust or supervision with a 14-year-old juvenile. Both counts are Class 1 felonies. Rivera also faces 1 count of concealed homicidal death. Information on the charge states that Rivera, with the knowledge the juvenile had died by homicidal means, is alleged to have knowingly concealed the death by placing the body in a tote. That count is a Class 3 felony. Rivera also faces a count of concealed death. Okay. Information on the charge says that Rivera is alleged to have moved the juvenile's body from the place of death to allegedly conceal information. That count is a Class 4 felony. In Fayette County Court this morning, Rivera was appointed the public defender. Rivera agreed to pretrial detention. He will next appear at Fayette County Court on November 25th at 10 a.m. I got a little something to say about, because I had endured people knowing about the abuse that happened to me. And y'all know that my stepmom, a lot of y'all that know my story, had held me down while her son raped me. And I became pregnant. And later on, she forced me to the floor. And I had the baby at home. And which right after, she stabbed him. She's deceased now. It's with her and all this. But anyway, when I was in the 10th or 11th grade, the principal kept calling me to the office for an hour each day for a week, okay? And I thought, like, what did I do wrong, to deserve, why am I being punished being in the principal's office? So years later, I called him on the phone and I said, why did you call me to that office? What did I do so wrong? I never knew. He said, we knew you were being abused. I said, do what? I said, then why didn't y'all do something about it? He said, because we needed you to speak up. We knew you were being abused, but we could not do nothing until you spoke up. I said, but listen here. A lot of us knows that if we tell, a lot of times we get sent back to that home environment and that abuse is going to escalate. And I was already, put up underneath the house. I was beat and put in a box, left to die, okay? So you think I wanted to willingly go and try to put myself back in that harm's way by telling? I don't think so, right? So I said, y'all would have sent me back. The court system would have. He said, no, we already had you a place. So what is it with the judicial system? If they already know that this has taken place, there should be a law out there when they know of a crime that's being done, that they could do something without the victim having to speak up, because let me tell you, we get too terrified, too petrified to tell. It's not safe for us to be able to tell. We need to feel like if we tell, we're not going to have to go back to that environment, okay? So what are y'all going to do to help change the laws to make it better for the victims so the victims don't have to keep going around these perpetrators? Okay. So let me go to the next thing here. Oh, it's got an echo. Do I need to turn it up? Is this better now? Is this better now, y'all? Testing 1, 2. I had cut it down to 45. I'll say this again, that when when they had spoke up and tried to help KYLIE, they knew about it, but said they needed KYLIE to speak up. But like for what had happened to me having to go to the principal's office when I was in the 10th or 11th grade, and I went for a week. I'll repeat myself just in case y'all didn't hear me, okay? And an hour each day for a week, okay? And then bothered me, what did I do so wrong to be going to the principal's office? Because usually somebody don't sit in front of the principal's desk for an hour unless they did something major. So I had contacted them years later, around 2001. This was back in the later 70s. But back around 2001, I contacted them. And I asked him, I said, how come you called me to the office back then? He said, because we knew you were being abused. I said, do what? Y'all knew I was being abused? Why did y'all not do something about it, right? They said, well, we needed you to speak up. I said, but that would put me in danger, speaking up. Because a lot of times when you speak up, the kid has to go back to that home, okay? While they're trying to make a decision, a lot of times, the child gets sent back to the abuser's house. Y'all knew, a lot of y'all that knows my story, knows that my stepmom held me down while her son raped me and I got pregnant. Y'all know about the sex trafficking that I endured, okay? Y'all knew about my own mom selling me, not just my stepmom, okay? But this was my birth mom since age 2. Y'all know about all this, and there was even police, judges, all this that's into this, okay? So there was all these people that knew and did nothing, right? Because they was part of it, right? So how was I really gonna tell anybody when I was threatened before? But anyway, I had told him, I said, but if I would have told you, I would have sent me back. He said, no, we already had you a place. I said, but then how come, if y'all already knew and had me a place, how come y'all still cannot enforce and get me out of that place? Y'all know that it's dangerous for somebody, a victim, to stand up and to tell. It's too dangerous for a victim to tell, okay? So the law needs changed because if they know and hear that something happens, why are you waiting for the victims who are petrified to tell? Because that's putting us in more danger. All right. So I wanted to say that about. Okay. Let's get to the next thing here. So very happy all the time. Family remembers teen killed in VANDALIA as adopted brother charged. Okay, before they were saying uncle, right? So this is where it comes into play, right? Where it says okay. A 14-year-old girl was found dead in the backyard after being reported missing Friday, and her adopted brother faces first-degree murder charges in the case. Arnold Rivera is charged with sexual assault, homicide by strangulation, and concealing the body in the death of KYLIE TOBERMAN. Illinois State Police said her body was found in a tote in a locked RV in her own backyard after she was reported missing. But that was the very next day, right? KYLIE TOBERMAN, 14. Look how beautiful she was. Look. Y'all look at this child. She did not deserve what had happened to her. KYLIE was very beautiful, very energetic, very happy all the time. I have already missed her so much, said Leanne DeWeese, Toberman's maternal grandmother. DeWeese told First Alert 4 that she came to Vandalia thinking the girl was missing, but learned she was dead when she arrived. Court appearance reveals details. Lisa Richards, Toberman's paternal grandmother, was in the courtroom when Rivera's charges were read. We were just now educated of the manner of death and the disrespect to her body, and it should have never happened. That's all. It should have never happened, Richard said. Richard explained that the teenager was adopted over 5 years ago to the Toberman family, making Rivera legally her adopted brother. Y'all see it right here? So, to the Toberman family, making Rivera legally her adopted brother. We have had minimal contact with her with the adoption that had taken place due to extenuating circumstances, Richard said. We had no information that there was such a dangerous, volatile situation that she was in. Caitlin Schellenbarger, a friend of Toberman since preschool, was also in the courtroom when Rivera made his first appearance. It broke my heart because she shouldn't have had to go through that. She was the sweetest person, and she had so much life left to live. I mean, she was only 14 years old, Schellenberger said. When I found out, I was distraught and taken aback because I never would have guessed he could be that type of person that could happen in the small town of Vandalia. DCS concern raised. Family members and friends said that the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services failed to protect Toberman. They were called several times since January from several different people, and they didn't do anything, DeWeese said. Richard said nobody on their part had any way of knowing what was happening. I think that Arnold is a disgusting man, and that should have never happened. I think that she was failed, Schellenberger said. Rivera is being held at the Fayette County Jail. His next court appearance is November 25th at 10. Here is the sorry excuse for a human being right here. Here he is, the sorry excuse. Vandalia is located in Fayette County, about an hour's drive northeast of St. Louis. So let's go to the next. So let me go back to the studio and share the next page. This is a sad situation, ain't it? So let me turn off my mic. So we go.
News tonight at 10, we are working to get more information after police in Vandalia say a person is now in custody related to a death investigation. We still have very little details from authorities. The Vandalia Police Department says it received a missing persons report Friday morning and a body was found later in the day. Investigators tell First Alert 4 a suspect was arrested. Illinois State Police are now taking over that investigation. We have reached out to ISP to learn more. Our team was provided the same statement we received from Vandalia Police. We do know authorities there had been searching for a teen last seen Thursday evening there, but police have yet to connect the two.
Horrible. I'm sorry. I looked horrible. Okay. This is supposed to be a fundraiser, but the birth mother has not had custody of these children for a lot of years. Yet the mother is going to try to get the money. But they're recommending there is a trust fund at First National Bank that's supposed to help with KYLIE's funeral and help with the other two kids that were her sisters that were adopted as well. To put more notes, see the mother right here that don't even have custody of the kids. She's the one that's got the organizer, the beneficiary, Megan Zeller, does not have custody, okay? And she's been given $1,056. So it said, don't give money to this, okay? Support KYLIE's family during this time of tragedy. And she don't have the other two kids with her either. And the kids, so the people, the trust fund that's at First National Bank, that's where you would help KYLIE's siblings, okay? Not right here. On behalf of Megan Zeller's family, we're heartbroken to share the tragic loss of KYLIE Marie Cutts, a bright and loving 14-year-old whose life was taken far too soon in such a terrible manner. KYLIE was known for her caring heart and the way she made everyone around her feel included. She was a loyal friend, a devoted sister, and someone who could brighten any room simply by being in it. KYLIE was also an incredible young wrestler, earning awards for her determination, discipline, and talent, qualities she carried into every part of her life. Her mother, Megan Zeller, along with KYLIE's siblings, Camilla, Cora, and Bryson, are facing an unimaginable reality. As this is an ongoing criminal investigation, the family cannot share many details publicly, but they are cooperating fully with authorities as they seek justice for KYLIE. But see, she don't have custody of the kids, okay? During this painful time, the family is in need of financial support to help them navigate legal processes, time away from work, and the many unexpected expenses that come in the wake of such a tragedy. Any donation, no matter the amount, would directly support Megan and her girls as they fight for justice and try to rebuild their lives. As I said, she don't have custody, okay? So I just wanted y'all to know, be careful where you give the money to, okay? This is January 21st, 2011 through November 14th, 2025. So she is not the custodial parent. So with that being said, there was also, we need to be sure to get the word out. It really hurt me deeply, that very first video I played. That woman, she had kids with a guy, right? And he called her the next day, upset, because I guess the police found him out, about the body. This is a hard story. We were asked to share this, get it out there. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share. I will be an advocate for other people. I'm sorry if you don't like me getting the message out there, but I'm still going to get the message out there. Thanks, everyone, and may God bless you.